Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today is a very exciting day. We are going to be starting the sort of planning and the marking out of what I have been affectionately calling the secret project. So I shall be revealing all today. This project is going to take probably a number of videos, but I'm definitely going to film it all. I'm going to share it with you so that you can see like the full transformation from how it looks now to how it will eventually look. But how I thought I'd start this video is kind of just showing you very much the exact current state, how it's looking now, and kind of very briefly talk through my vision. I don't want to go too much into it because I think sometimes it's hard to visualize without kind of seeing it come together. So I'll show you the current state, kind of talk you through the vision, and then what we'll be doing is I've enlisted Mum's help. We are going to be going into that area and kind of just marking it out, kind of marking out where plants are going to be going and pathways and all of that. Gosh, these hydrangeas. This is the Oriental lace cap hydrangea here. So let's head over to the area now. So I have shown you this space before, but it's definitely not one that you have seen often. It's basically a space just off the sun deck here. Oh my gosh, you would not believe, a little lady beetle just came onto the back of the camera. Oh, I shall take that as a good sign. But at the moment, as you can see, it is not a used space in my garden at all, which is a shame. I really enjoy using my entire kind of space and, you know, just trying to make every corner of my garden. I don't have a massive garden. It's a very sort of small cottage style garden. I'm really keen to try and make pretty much every corner of my garden just beautiful and usable and just enjoyable spaces. So this is the secret project. This is my next big project in the garden. As always, there's going to be weeding and planting and vegetables and all the other bits and pieces, but this is going to be the next large scale project. So the space itself is maybe 4 meters by 6 meters kind of, and there is this very large tree in here. It gets, I would say, full sun, particularly this area here, full sun all day, but along this back bit here it does sort of get that afternoon shade. And what I'm wanting to turn this space into, and I'm unbelievably excited about, and I have to say this space has had several iterations before we kind of decided on this. You know, I'm looking for, my garden needs to be easy to maintain. It needs to be beautiful, it needs to be usable and all those sorts of things, but it also needs to be easy for me to manage and maintain. So I had many ideas about this space, and it went through several iterations of what it was going to be, and I have finally decided I'm actually going to be turning this into an orchard, a fruit tree orchard. As I said, it gets a lot of sun here. I am located in Australia. I'm in Queensland and I'm in a subtropical gardening zone. So we are able to grow a lot of citrus, and if you've been following along with the channel for a little while, you will know I already have quite a number of citrus trees. So that is what this space is going to be turning into. I'm going to be turning it into an orchard. And to tell you, goodness me, it is windy today. I am so excited to see this transformation. I truly hope that you will subscribe to my channel to kind of watch this transformation over the coming weeks. I think it's going to be incredible and just make this a really usable space that's beautiful. And anywho, obviously it doesn't look like pretty much anything at this stage. So what I wanted to very briefly do is just explain kind of my vision, and then, as I said, Mum's going to come and later on, and I will film it. We are going to head down here and we are going to kind of mark out all of the areas, and then next week the fruit trees that I currently have, we're actually going to try and transplant them here. It is risky to do that, I have to say. It is risky, But if I'm being completely honest with you, where the fruit trees currently are, they have not been doing well, and they've not been doing well for a little while now. And I've sort of been persevering and trying different things, but I think they are too enclosed within the actual cottage garden. I think having an actual orchard where they have space, where there's breeze, where they don't get as much water. We've got this really great, hopefully it's coming across on camera, but we do have quite a slope here of the land because I'm located on a hill. I think they're going to love this space. So that'll kind of be happening. So the fruit trees will be transplanted next week, and then pathways are going to be going in, and there's just going to be just so much wonderfulness that I am excited to share with you. And as I said, I'm actually excited to be able to watch this back, to be able to see the space as it is now, and then, you know, in 6 months time or in 12 months time, to be able to look back and see this and see how it's grown. And obviously I'm going to document the entire process with you, you know, each sort of stage and how it goes. It's not all going to be finished in this video by any means. It is going to be over several videos. But without further ado, let's talk through what I'm thinking. So at the moment, as I said, I am on the sun deck area, and at the moment, obviously, I can just slip down and hop down into it. But that is actually not the best way to be able to access this space ongoing. So what I'm going to be doing is, and actually I'm going to take you around there, I'm going to be making like a little pathway. So from here, I don't know if you can see, but there's two rocks just here. So from here, this plant here is going to be transplanted over here. This, and this one are also going to be transplanted, and this is going to open up a pathway. The night jasmine, we're actually going to kind of cut off this end, like these branches here. And then I'm going to be popping some stepping stones through, and it's just going to be a very sort of sweet, almost little secret garden into the orchard here. So you'll be able to kind of step off this main path here and then just walk through to the orchard area. So I think that's going to work really well, and these plants will be transplanted next week, and this is going to get pruned off next week. And then obviously we'll work together to get the stepping stones in and all of that. But again, I will show you all of that process. So if we just head back over this way. So if I come into this corner, you can see, so this area here is going to be the entryway, and whether we end up putting like a little garden arch or something on there, you know me, you know I love my garden arches. Whether something like that happens in the future, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so the pathway will kind of come in there. The stepping stones are actually going to kind of stop about here, and then what we're going to be doing is probably a sort of chip bark pathway. So now, this is not by any means the final layout, but this is what I'm thinking at this stage. And when Mum's here later and we start to mark it out, you'll be able to see it a little bit better, and we'll kind of come to final decisions. But the path will come out here, and what I'm thinking is, there I am, hello. In this area here, we could probably do 3 citrus trees. So whether we do like the 2 navel oranges and the seedless mandarin here, but making sure they're all spaced out. So then the pathway will kind of come down and around into this area, so you can access all 3 fruit trees. Then we're going to have a big pathway through here. And then on this fence, I don't know if you can see it very well, but this is the back of the jasmine sort of fence, but I've already popped in some of the honeycomb plant trainers. And a few weeks back, we purchased together when we were at the garden centre the wild climbing roses, the thornless ones, the white and the yellow. And so they are going to be planted in here and here, and they are going to grow prolifically all over the back of this, and just bring hopefully pollinators and bring that really gorgeous white and yellow pops of bloom and colour into the space. So they're going to go here. I'll probably underplant them with something maybe like lavender. You know how many times I've tried to grow lavender and I'm always unsuccessful, but maybe I'll try again. We'll have to wait and see. But yes, I want to plant in, I'll underplant them with something along here. And then in this back garden here, I would like to have a little fenced off cut flower garden. I bought some cut flower seeds and I just kind of want to see if we've got the space for it. Fingers crossed we will, and then I think I will kind of like fence it a little bit just so that the plants can have some support. And then I'm going to do along the fence here a cut flower garden. And then again, this whole middle bit here will be all tan bark. Whether we end up putting like a little water feature or something in the middle, just something really pretty and decorative, again, we'll wait and see. And then over this side here, I'm thinking another 3 of the citrus. And we've got 5 citrus trees now. So if I did 6 in total, I'd obviously get another citrus tree. So whether I'd get another lemon tree or another navel orange or even a mandarin tree, we'll wait and see again. And then towards the back there's going to be one of the lily pilly cascades. That's going to kind of go here in this back corner. And then with these other areas here, it's very much quite shaded. So whether, you know, as time goes on, I get like some other really pretty plants in this corner, like some hardy shade-loving plants, it's all just going to be a kind of process. But that is how I wanted to start the video, just showing you this current state and how it is looking. If I bend down a little bit here, so you can see at the moment it's pretty much a bit of nothingness. So I am so excited to be able to transform this space and of course to be able to share it with you. Gosh, we have a gorgeous day here today, like wall-to-wall sunshine. There is not a cloud in the sky. The temperature is just impeccable at this time of year, and so there's just helicopters and planes and everyone's having like their joy rides out in the sky. But anywho, so that is, I've just verbalized the plan there. So I will come back on, and it'll only be a couple of seconds for you, but it'll probably be a couple of hours for me. I'll come back on when Mum's here, and we will come out and we're going to probably get a big stick and actually kind of draw in all the beds. We're going to put stakes in where we want the fruit trees to go. I'm going to bring my tape measure out and just make sure we're placing them so that they've got enough space to grow comfortably for air circulation, that I can access them for fertilizing and collecting fruit and things. So let's do this. Good morning. My goodness, it is cold and unbelievably windy today. It is actually the next day, but I do have Mum here today now. As you can see, I have my tape measure out and Mum's just getting herself organized, and then we are going to head down into the orchard area. Oh, I love saying that. Into the orchard area, and we're going to kind of just start marking it out. So I'm going to prop you up somewhere while we do that, and then once I've kind of got it marked out, I'll actually take you down here and give you a little show around. Hopefully, we'll see. I'm just not sure how clearly it will be marked out and whether it's going to be easy for you to see. But yeah, so Mum is coming now. We're going to get down here and hopefully warm up fairly quickly in the gorgeous sunshine, because we do still have incredible weather even though it is cold and windy. I'd say these are the last few weeks of winter. It's definitely hold on to your hat weather. My hat has almost blown off twice since I've been out here. But yeah, I'm going to prop you up somewhere and we're going to get going. Well, I I'm not sure how much of the sort of planning process you saw then. I had you propped up on a tripod, but the wind today is gale force and it actually blew the entire tripod over. I for a moment there, I thought I lost you, but you seem to be okay and functioning well. So apologies, you probably didn't see too much of the planning stage. You didn't miss anything. I'm going to quickly talk you through it now. So I am wearing sort of proper joggery sort of shoes at the moment. There are a lot of like sticks sticking like directly up from the ground and that, which will go direct, like right through your shoes. So, as I said earlier, this is going to be the walkway where you come in. So you'll sort of come in and this will all be like a really nice sort of fine chip bark kind of mulch. Stepping stones will kind of stop here and you'll walk through. I'm thinking one fruit tree is going to be right here off of the sun deck area. And then Mum and I were umming and ahhing about, you can see there's one fruit tree here and one fruit tree here. I'm umming and ahhing about this space sort of further down. I think it might be nice to have something here, but I'm just not sure how much sun it's going to get. I don't know. I'll ponder that. But where I've sort of popped that fruit tree, you can see it's got quite a bit of space to kind of grow out. So one's going to go there. There may be a potential here, so I'm not sure. One is going to go here, so this will all be, if I step back. So pathway in, there'll be a fruit tree, possibly another fruit tree, one here. And then if I turn around this way, we'll do another fruit tree here and another one here. This marker here is actually going to be a cascade lily pilly, so that's going to kind of fill out this back space. And then on this back wall here, I'm hoping to have like a little kind of fenced in area, and I'd like to try, I don't know if it will even work, they may not work, which is perfectly fine. If they don't work, I'll probably put another citrus here. But I would like to have a little cut flower area on this back fence, just to kind of make this a little bit pretty. So yeah, fruit tree here, potentially cut flower garden here. And then I'm thinking the peach tree here, oh yeah, that's better. The peach tree just here. And then these were the honeycomb, sorry, I'll take my hand out. The honeycomb plant trainers there. So we've got one there, and then the wild climbing rose will go in the center. And then just on the other side here, we've got the second one, and again, a wild climbing rose will go in the center. They're sort of the white and yellow ones. And then I'll possibly sort of, because again, this is the pathway here. So this little area where the climbing roses are, I might try and underplant that just for something really pretty. I mentioned lavender. I've just not had a lot of success with lavender before. So even like salvias, I just think something for the pollinators would be really good, to try and draw the pollinators down here for the fruit trees. So yes, that is the plan. I'm going to see how that goes. As I said, it's all just an experiment. It's one that I am actually really excited about. Just getting this area into a functioning space and getting it a little bit pretty. I think the chip bark little pathway will look nice. The reason we're sort of doing a chip bark and not like stepping stones or anything like that is this is obviously, there will be a lot of water coming through here when we get heavy rains, so I'm trying to think of like drainage and that. So at the moment I'm thinking chip bark, but we'll sort of see how that goes, and whether it works. I am worried about, I mean, it's going to be very, very fine chip bark. So hopefully with the rains it won't move. I'm thinking we could potentially do, anyway, I won't keep going on. It's all going to be a bit of an experiment, but as I said, I will definitely be taking you along for the whole ride, and kind of sharing what works and what doesn't, because I can tell you right now, some of this is not going to work. We might lose, I'll take you over to the fruit trees now, we might lose a number of these fruit trees in the transition. That's what I was sort of saying earlier when I was saying it's quite risky. We are still in spring, so the temperatures aren't too hot, but it is probably late. I probably should have looked at doing this like 2 months ago in the middle of winter. What it will probably mean is that we won't get any fruit at all next year, because the fruit won't have the roots in that being disturbed and cut. The plant will probably try and put a lot of energy into re-establishing the root system once they've been repositioned. But I am really hoping that long term the fruit trees will be much happier here. They're going to have this space. I mean, the reason I'm wanting to show it to you now is because, quite honestly, it looks terrible. And that's kind of, I want you to see that this is exactly how it's starting. It's just quite a, you know, messy sort of space in my garden. And I really am just so hopeful that in only a matter of weeks, it is going to look beautiful. And I mean, obviously, I hope all the fruit trees make it. But yeah, so I'm definitely thinking peach tree here. And then maybe, I don't know whether it's better to keep, I've got 2 navel oranges, a seedless mandarin and a lemon. So I don't know whether it's better to like alternate and do like a navel orange, a lemon, a navel orange, and then like a mandarin here. I'm not sure. And I am really eyeing this area. I'm wondering if I get another fruit tree for that space. We shall. Apologies, we're just going to very quickly cut over to where the current citrus are. I just want to show you where they currently are and how they're doing. So these 2 here are the navel oranges, and you can kind of see their trunks here. They're so close together, so I'm hoping by moving them into the orchard, they'll get a little bit more space and they'll be happier. Now this one is very green and lush and looking gorgeous. This one though, her leaves are a little bit yellow, but she has already started to flower. So I don't know how happy she will be with being relocated, and it might mean that we have to sacrifice the fruit for next year. But I think long term, much happier where they're going, and obviously it's going to disrupt this whole garden bed here, but I'll deal with that in the coming weeks, and again obviously share that all with you. But they are the 2 navel oranges that are going to be moved. This at the back is the lemon tree. It actually looks really nice. It had quite the significant prune back not that long ago, but it has sort of, you know, it's nice and green, lush looking. But again, it's really, I mean, you can see there, it's just really kind of crunched in with all the other sort of cottage garden plants, which is unfortunate. So I just think by moving this one, it'll also be really happy. This one here, whoops, I might go this way. This one here is the seedless man. I do apologize. My neighbor is getting the gardening done. It's a gorgeous day today, so everyone is out in the garden. So this one here is the seedless mandarin. Again, the plant looks fine. It's just, it's never done well. Unfortunately, it's just never done well. All of these plants here are going to end up all throughout this section. So I have sort of planned how it will all look. But yeah, so this one, and these 2 are all going to go into the orchard. And then just lastly, up here is the peach tree. So you can see here, so obviously peach trees are deciduous, so she's just starting to get all of her leaves for spring, and she has also started to flower, unfortunately, but that is the peach tree who will also be relocated. So yeah, that is the plan. We are going to obviously, fingers crossed, gosh, cross your fingers for me, that they all survive the move and that they are much happier in the orchard area where they've got more room to kind of branch out. They're not sort of crunched in. They've got great air circulation, full sun. Yeah. Anywho, back to the orchard area space. We shall see. But I think I'm actually going to end this video here. I think I'm going to keep it sort of short and really just focused on this space. So this is the part 1 of the orchard transformation. And then next week I've got my garden gentleman coming to help with the transitioning the trees, as well as bringing his chainsaw. He's got a few other things to do around the property for me with his chainsaw, but he's going to work to try and get all of this taken out. And we'll need a chainsaw to do that. So he's going to help with that, and then we'll be repositioning all these trees. So part 2 will definitely be coming probably next week, because there will be quite a bit of development in this area. And I will share all of that with you. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you are as excited to see this space transform as I am, and I do hope that you subscribe to kind of follow along with the journey of this. And I'm sure all the wins and the wobbles, and as it all kind of comes together, and I'm really thrilled to be transforming this space. And you know how much I love a garden project. So this will definitely be occupying, along with all the normal sort of gardening that we do, this will definitely be a large scale project that will be occupying my time. And then it's no surprise, I'm sure, for me to tell you, once we've got this bedded down, I actually do have another large scale project in mind for an area of the garden that you have actually never seen. I've never shared it on my channel, but I, for myself, really want to transform this space. And one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube is people, transformation journeys. And anyway, so there's many exciting things to come. So I do hope that you subscribe, enjoy my little YouTube family, and that, you enjoy coming along and spending the time with me. All right, I'm going to head up and no doubt get stuck into some gardening. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.